Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Mars, the planet of energy, will, the ruler of Aries and Scorpio, will move in its own zodiac sign of Scorpio on 16th of November. Then for 1.5 months, Mars will be in Scorpio. But initially when Mars goes to Scorpio, it will accompany the Sun, therefore Mars will be under deep combustion. Therefore, Sun, which is the ruler of the 5th house of the Kalpurush, will dominate Mars. That means you need to first learn and then react. Do not believe on anything blindly. Scorpio is also about research. So put your entire energy into research and fact finding. Especially people who are involved into technical research, who are writers, who are into occult therapies, who are into PhDs, who are into advanced technology and sciences, will see this Sun and Mars giving new insights and opening new horizons and maybe new discoveries. Because this is a very highly entrepreneurial transit, this can bring in investors, this can help you build a startup, this will give you the necessary energy to push beyond the limit and set a new limit for yourself, set a new target, set a new goal for yourself. It's all about transformation. The only thing is that this Mars can be too aggressive and too masculine for many, especially for females who have a very strong and dominant Mars, for couples who have Mangal Dosh in their Kundli, for people who have Mars on ascendant and also afflicted, for people who have Mars in Cancer or in Ashlesha Nakshatra, for people who have Mars in 7th or 12th house. This can be slightly negative. So what you will have to do is try to control your enthusiasm and energy with a lot of practical understanding of life. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa, showing the power of surrender will be really helpful here. Let's understand for each ascendant what this Mars transit means for you. But before that, do not forget to subscribe my channel and share the video among family and friends. Because when you share the video, the algorithm knows that the channel is important, and that is your help towards me for spreading the word of astrology. Also, if you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. And for social media, Reels, Instagram, and other interesting stuff, and other social media platforms, all the links are in the description box below. You can also follow me and subscribe my Patreon channel, where I upload some extra insights into these transits and that I cannot upload on YouTube, and new technical knowledge about Jyotish and some other interesting stuff. See you there also. Let's start ascendant wise analysis. Aries. When Mars goes in Scorpio zodiac sign, for you, your ascendant lord goes in the 8th house. When the ascendant lord goes in the 8th house, it definitely calls for transformation. Is it really negative for you? Not really, because Scorpio is also a zodiac sign ruled by Mangal, Mars. And you also have to understand that Mars is not alone. Mars will accompany Sun in the sign of Scorpio, and Mars and Sun will have a very close conjunction when they are entering the Vrishchik Rashi. And soon Sun will speed up, because Sun will take approximately 1 month in this zodiac, whereas Mars will continue till the end of December 2023. So Mars is a 1.5 month transit. So you will see very soon Mars will end its Astha Avastha, that means combustion, and this will help you gain more insights and gain your strength. But until the time Mars is combust in the 8th house, you will have to compromise with your abilities. You might feel a little bit insecure during this time, especially if matter is related to your children, or if you are into stock investments, if you are into this risk-taking adventures. You might also be worried about your relationship with your in-laws. But if you are not using brute strength, if you're not using sheer power, but you are involving a little bit of finesse here, because Mercury is also present in the 8th house for you, then you will see that this will help you recover from the most difficult situation. It's a great time for people involved in research work or who wants to do some research. It's a great time for people to work on your secret talents, secret abilities, and fulfill your wishes that are long unfulfilled, and this is the time to work for that. You should also not forget that 5th from this Mangal will be Rahu, who has just entered the Pisces arena. Therefore, this can create unnecessary expenses. So this is like you might be spending something which is actually an expense, but you will feel that it is giving you a sense of security, financial security. Maybe you are trying to build an asset. Also, from the health perspective, this will initially, for the first half of this transit, you need to be careful. Also, considering the fact that Venus will be with Ketu in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo being your 6th house, you need to be very careful with your health, especially your mental health. Ego, anger can create nervousness, anxiety, and can also create fluctuations in the blood pressure, and corresponding lifestyle issues may follow. So be mindful of that. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa is very important at this point of time. Career changes are on the cards for those who are looking for it. But remember, there will be a power struggle. So don't fall for that. Now, in case of Taurus, Mars rules your 12th house and your 7th house. So definitely it has a strong hold on your subconscious mind, as well as how you relate with other people, your marriage, your business. This Mars comes in your 7th house. Now, this is excellent for initiating new business partnerships. This is excellent for people who want to travel abroad, or who want to expand their business globally, or who wants to go away from the place where they are currently located. Be it a student or you be a professional, this is going to be an excellent transit for you, and this will give you a sense of security towards your career. You will also give a lot of attention, energy and time in building and shaping your career, and you will be ready to sacrifice what it needs to actually get that name, fame. So hard work is going to be there, enthusiasm is going to be there, but this can actually create ego related fights in your marriage. So you will have to carry on both the fronts in your life at this point of time. Also, Mars being in the 7th house can have an aspect on your 4th, 1st and 2nd house, and because of this you will have to be careful about your own career, about your own health, and how you're handling the criticism, because there will be enemies and people trying to challenge you. You will also feel threatened by certain energies around you. This can be non-human energies also. So in this case, chanting Bajrang Band every day with pure respect, and also chanting Hanuman Chalisa will be really, really helpful. Also, for wealth generation, you need to take that extra step. So a little bit of risk is okay, as long as you know what you're doing. Also matters in the family, and especially in the family of your wife or husband, your life partner, can actually create tensions or disruptions in your own energy, and you might find it difficult to balance career and marriage together. Also, there can be a power struggle between you and your business partner if you are in business, or you and your team members. This is also the time when you need to curb your lust, curb your desires, and follow the path of yoga and sadhana, because unnecessary desire may rise up during this time, and you will feel worthy to prove a point. Proving a point will make no sense, although you have to deal it case by case basis, but on a general, I will say that proving a point will only waste your energy as long as Mars is combust. Gemini. Now, in case of Gemini, Mars will be in your 6th house, and not only Mars moves in Scorpio in the 6th house, it is also the presence of Sun and Mercury in the 6th house that makes it special. Your ascendant Lord will experience a Mars and Sun movement 10 days after Mercury, which is your ascendant Lord, will move in Scorpio. Because on 6th, Mercury will be in Scorpio, entering into Scorpio. On 16th, Mars will enter Scorpio zodiac sign. Now when Sun and Mars are coming in Scorpio zodiac sign, this is a very good time to resolve disputes, but not a great time to start another fight. So if you're planning to, create another dispute, another fight, another court case, legal battles, be very careful, because Mars is combust. That means it is not going to give you gains the way you think it should ideally in the 6th house. But once Sun goes out of Scorpio zodiac sign and in Sagittarius zodiac sign, then the last 5 to 10 days of the Mars transit in Scorpio will be really good. But the problem then is that Mars will be in Jyeshta Nakshatra and towards the final degrees, therefore it will move towards Gandanta crossing. And when Mars crosses the Gandanta from 6th to 7th, it can create roadblocks, it can create problems, it can create unnecessary enemies and health issues. So be mindful of these things. And if you are energetic, if you are enthusiastic about something, the rule is that you should be disciplined also towards that thing. It doesn't matter whether it is your emotional state of mind, whether it is your well-being, whether it is your career. Fight with brothers is possible just because third lord is in the 6th house, which is Sun. And you should also understand that environment at home may require your surrender, may require your energies to be more softer in nature. But on the other hand, Mars aspecting the 9th house and the 12th house will help you take in new journeys in life. Maybe career related journeys will happen during this time. Maybe the family is not agreeing with your movement, but eventually you are moving to a different country, city. Here my recommendation will be that don't fight, rather than try to understand each one's point of view and take a decision that is more holistic and more inclusive in nature. Now because Mars is in 6th house, taking the name of Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram and Om Ham Hanumate Namah, and chanting this shloka, Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanara Yutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadye, is going to be really helpful. Try to understand this Mars has power, but you need to respect the Sun also. Cancer. For Cancer zodiac, Mars will be in the 5th house. Now 5th house is a really good place for Mars if you are considering about your expression. So you will be seen as a highly energetic individual. This is also a good time for students who wants to give their entire energy and focus towards their studies. It's a great time for people who are involved in media, journalism, profession of expression. It's a great time for social media influencers, a great time for architect, someone who is involved into engineering and sciences related to speed and motion, like vehicle and transport, aviation, trains. So if you're going to give railway board exam, this is kind of really good time for that, at least for thinking about that, taking the next step. But this is a bad time for people who want something in relationship. See, on one hand, Mars is the planet of passion, but Venus is negative. That means for you, this can be a negative time if you are thinking about romantic relationships. People can misunderstand you also. Maybe your energy or your enthusiasm or your will to help may be taken otherwise. So be mindful, especially in your professional environment. Talking with a certain intention may call an HR meeting. So be mindful there. Also, considering that Sun and Mars will be in the 5th house, it is going to be challenging for people who want to, who want a childbirth during this time. So let Sun travel to the 6th house, although Sun is very good in 5th house. But the problem is that Sun is making the Mars go combust. And Mars is your 10th lord. So when 10th lord goes combust by Sun, that means someone in the family or a problem with the money is not allowing you. Maybe you want to do something, but suddenly you learn the reality and now you're stopping yourself. That may disappoint you also, and that may save you also. So you have to understand your own life's scenario in case whether you are stopping because of a problem and that is good for you, or you are becoming underconfident and just because there is a huge dominating force on you, you are unable to perform in this time and react accordingly. And if you feel trapped, if you feel stuck, bringing Hanuman Yantra at home, doing Hanuman Puja and chanting Om Ham Hanumate Namah is going to be really helpful at this point of time. Mars will be aspecting the 11th house, so gains are possible, especially people who are involved in stock, speculative gains, who are in general trading. But you need to be careful because Mars 8th aspect falls on the 12th house and that has the potential to destroy you through expenses and losses. So, because Mars will function from where it is placed, learn, educate yourself, get the facts right, and then take a decision. Leo. Now, in case of Leo zodiac sign, Mars will move in your 4th house along with your ascendant Lord Sun. Sun, Mars, and Mercury in the 4th house is a kind of formation where lot is going on in your home, lot is going on in with your assets, with your investments, that is not letting you become comfortable and you are trying to be comfortable. So what should you do? This means your active involvement is needed and your physical presence is needed in your home so that your matters in your home can be resolved. Maybe you are supposed to buy a property, then you have to physically go and see and deal with things. If there is an asset that is supposed to be sold, this is the time when you should take the initiative. So this is the month of initiatives for you. Although finances, the resources and the support from the family may not come, that can make you uncomfortable. So in spite of you having everything, you might assume or feel that you are lacking behind and things are not really right. So in that case, my recommendation will be that if you cannot understand, just wait for some time, let Mars become stable in Scorpio, and then Jupiter's influence on the ascendant will soon take over, and that will help you understand a lot of things. When Sun will move in Sagittarius on mid of December, that Sun will also come under the influence of Jupiter. So that is the Sun coming under the influence of aspect of Jupiter, as well as the ascendant comes under the aspect of Jupiter, and then Mars behaves in a very positive manner. Now, this is the time when you might also negate your learnings just because you are not comfortable with what you are learning. Say you are given a data or a fact and you are willing to reject it just because you are not comfortable with it. So be very practical, grounded, and be ready for change. People who are working from home should have a separate desk facing the south corner, and you can occupy the place where you are working. Exclusively it has to be reserved for working wherever it is possible. Even in your bedroom, you can have a table and a chair. Do not use that workplace or table and a chair for anything else other than your work. Anybody can use it for work, but don't eat there, don't watch movies, don't watch sports, just work. The energy should be very clear. Also, clean your home, light up a diya, and see if you are putting a lot of water element things in the southeast corner of your home. If yes, try to remove it. Virgo. Now, in case of Virgo, Mars will be moving in your 3rd house. Now, Mars gets Digbali in the 3rd house. It is the Karaka of the 3rd house. So, Mars in its own zodiac sign in the 3rd house is like the best placement for Mars. It's great to give you confidence, courage, your expression, your body language will become very dominant, will become very strong, your aura will be radiating with positivity. Mars will also aspect with 4th aspect the 6th house. Therefore, it is going to make you comfortable with all the challenges, so you're no longer going to crib, regret. Very good time. But because Mars is observing the dharma, because Mars aspects the 9th house, it shows that you are defending your dharma. Dharma is the path to righteousness. So you need to follow certain discipline, certain rituals during this time. Wake up early in the morning, take bath, and then light up diya and pray Hanuman Chalisa. Basic things, just basic things, but you need to maintain discipline. Like you have to do this daily at the same time. Try to force that on you. And discipline is needed when you are dealing with food, when you are dealing with travel. Avoid red colored items like driving a red car or wearing red clothes during this time. Mars in the third house is also going to resolve tension with siblings. So if you have any matter in your home where there is a fight with siblings, this can resolve that. Also, Mars in the third house can make you live a great time with your friends and family, partying together, enjoying. All is fine. But remember that Venus and Ketu is on your first house. Therefore, you will keep on getting the news and the information will be bombarded on you, where you will feel slightly detached, where you will try to put your energy in something unusual and something different. We cannot isolate Mars transit in Scorpio. We have to see what's happening around Mars. Also, when Mars goes into Scorpio, Saturn and Mars have a mutual aspect to each other. Mars aspects Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn aspects Mars back in Scorpio. Therefore, this is the right time to resolve conflicts in your life, and especially if you're a Virgo moon sign, this will fill you with energy and give you the right guidance to move in the right path in the right manner. Now, sometimes Mars can also bring in excess energy, so you need to also understand that doing excess is also bad. This is the time when you need to surrender, soften yourself and just pray to God. Chanting Hanuman Chalisa, Bajrang Baan, Vishnu Sahasranam is going to be really helpful. And try to see that you're not using your hands too much. If you're going to the gym, if you're playing sports, there can be an injury on your shoulder or your back or the neck. Be careful. Libra. Now in case of Libra, Mars rules your second house and seventh house. And seventh lord comes in the second house and it stabilizes at the sign of Scorpio. It means that it will help you gain money from business. It will help the career of your spouse. It will help you stabilize your financial position. It will give you financial security and it will make you more confident. But it might also give you overconfidence just because you are gaining something during this time. Although this is a very positive transit, this can make you rude, harsh, and can make you overwhelm yourself with the amount of wealth that you will gain during this time. And if you do insult and if you are overconfident about your success during this time, this can create more problems and more difficulties in life rather than solving them. Why? Because it actually aspects your 8th house and therefore it has the potential to trigger the matters related to the 8th house and can cut off certain relationship, maybe one statement or one fight or one sentence, and suddenly your relations are going out of the window. Mars will aspect the 5th house, therefore you will try to dominate in your family and you will try to take control on the life of your children. So be mindful of that. Be more friend rather than a senior member and try to bring everybody together. Your speech will be influential and it will be full of power and enthusiasm. You can be a great motivation speaker during this time. If you are into finances, banking, if you are into investments, if you are an entrepreneur, this is really a brilliant time for you because this can give you new potential, new arenas, new investments, and even your spouse's support will help you recover financially and your family will also stand behind you. But for all of this, you need to stay humble, you need to stay grounded, and you need to also do a lot of research. Remember, Scorpio is the sign of transformation, and sometimes it's a metaphysical transformation, transforming yourself beyond the obvious. So when Mars is going in Scorpio, don't expect things to follow the usual theme or pattern. This is the time to break the theme, break the pattern, and create something new for yourself. Scorpio. Now in case of Scorpio, Mars will come on your first house. Mars coming on the first house, your ascendant lord coming on your ascendant, and with Sun, which is the 10th lord, also coming on your ascendant. This combined effect of Mars and Sun is really helpful in gaining back the confidence, correcting your physical health, gaining back the posture that you were waiting for in the life. This will put your life on track, and Mercury's strategical thinking, numerical approach of life, and being very practical and grounded will help you recover yourself from any kind of loss that you have been going through. Although this is a 1.5 month transit, but it has the potential to help you gain back your position. But you will have to make sacrifice. No war is fought without casualties and wounds. Similarly, sacrifices will be needed when Mars will come in the first house and you are waging a war, like a court case, or maybe it's an internal war. Now, when I say sacrifice, it means sacrificing something negative from your life. Sacrificing your own comfort, finding a new areas of comfort. But while you are doing this, you can become very cruel, rude, violent, and your dominating nature can start affecting your family members, your spouse, because Mars has a direct impact on the 7th house. So you need to control your temperament, you need to control your anger and aggression during this time. Ego, especially the matters related in your career, the way your supervisors, your bosses deals with you, can hurt your sentiments, and you can transfer or bring that energy back to home. Doesn't matter whether you are a male or female, you can bring back to home, and this can create a very negative atmosphere. On one hand, you will struggle to win. On the other hand, areas where war or victory doesn't make sense, like marriage. Marriage is not an area where you have to win. There, Mars will inflict the warrior mentality, and that will create further tussle, further situations in life, and this can break marriages also. Even business partnerships will be heavily affected, maybe because you think you are right. Now, my way or highway approach will not work here. You will have to be inclusive, you will have to be a team player, and then you will see that you will grow only, and people will love your confidence, your aura, your personality. You will become humorous, you will become your touch will be magical, and whatever you touch will become gold. But remember, don't make it a Midas touch. Try to be more humble, be energetic, and be available, but don't cause a burnout to yourself. Over enthusiasm, overspending of energy will only create health issues. Sagittarius. In case of Sagittarius, Mars rules your 5th and 12th house. Now, because Mars rules these two important houses, it rules your education, it rules your expression, it also rules your expenses. And it goes in the 12th house. Therefore, education related expenses, travel related expenses might be a problem during this time, but because Mars in Scorpio, maybe you are comfortable. What you have to do is you will have to be careful, and you have to watch and limit your expenses, otherwise the money will outflow like anything. Even if you are not traveling, the thought of travel, the plans of travel will always be in your mind. And people who are constantly traveling, and especially someone who is doing travel vlog, who is covering different places, who is covering sports, who are actually players, will benefit greatly from this Mars transit. See, Mars in 12th house is a very different kind of Mars. It's a Mars that is most active in the night. It's a Mars that is going to not let you sleep, maybe because of your dreams and desires are very strong. And it is said that the ambition should be such that you have to dream when you are awake, and it should not let you sleep. All that is fine, good to see in a philosophical point of view. But if you're physically not sleeping, that means you are not resting, and that can hurt your health. One thing is to tire your body, walk a lot, and walking will help you regain back your strength, because that will act as a rejuvenating factor. Mars will aspect your 3rd house, therefore this can create some problem or expenses related to your siblings. And Mars will also aspect 6th house. This is a great time to cut down your debts. And with Mars aspecting the 7th house with the 8th aspect, it is most damaging to the marriage. So you need to be mindful of your way of life, you need to be mindful of your attitude. If you are too careless about things, if you are too ignorant about things, then it can really create separation. Remember, Venus is also with Ketu, that too in your 10th house. This can break partnership, this can break marriages, this can break relationships, this can create a negative image about you in people's mind. Your image can be spoiled, your reputation can be hurt. But Mars, if positive, can give you a lot of wealth. It gives you the potential to give and donate. So now is the transit where you will have to donate. Also, fasting on Tuesday will be a really great way to control your energies, regulate your hormones, and also manage your anger. Capricorn. Now in case of Capricorn, Mars rules your 11th house and also the 4th house. So Mars is a very, very strong planet. It's also a planet that gets exalted on your ascendant. And this Mars, which is a Yoga Karaka planet, goes in your 11th house, aspects your Lagna Lord. Your Lagna Lord is aspecting the Mars. That too in the Dhana Bhava. Saturn in 2nd, Mars in 11th. It's a brilliant transit for you. It's a transit that can resolve issues, solve conflicts, solve financial problems, can make you financially very stable. Your efforts, your work, your enthusiasm towards finances will bring you wealth, will give you necessary support, will give you support from everywhere, especially your network circle. So for example, you want to get a job, so you float your resume and suddenly somewhere someone will help you on that. So it is a great community that is coming together, especially for Capricorn ascendant and Capricorn moon sign natives. And especially if you're a Capricorn moon sign, it is going to be very relieving transit because Mars in the 11th is actually going to do wish fulfillment. But remember that this Mars is with Sun, and for Capricorn, Sun rules your 8th house. So transformation is on the cards. If you're going and using the same pattern and if you're on the same track, things may not work. So you may have to change few things. If you don't want to change, if you're too rigid in life, then this Mars energy will go waste. You will absorb a lot of energy, but you won't be able to achieve anything. Why? Because the 11th house has a lot of Aquarian energy from the Kalpurush. That means the way 11th house work is by distributing energy into various fragments. But Mars loves concentration of energy. It is more like a lot of energy at one place. But when you start distributing energy, it starts disintegrating. And this disintegration means distribution. If you are a distributor, good for you. But if you are a hoarder, bad for you. So this is the time when you gain something, learn to give it away, distribute. Sharing is caring will be the theme for this Mars transit in Aquarius. So donating food, removing old items from your home, helping someone in need, and when your finances grow, prove that you are being given this money for something good, go for a higher purpose, and that is the calling for your life. It's a very good transit for you. Aquarius. For Aquarius, Mars is all about karma. It rules your 3rd house, it rules your 10th house. And this Mars comes in your 10th house. In the house of karma, in the house of action, when Mars comes in its own zodiac sign of Scorpio, it gives you multiple progress. It grows, your growth knows leaps and bounds. And this Mars, which aspects the ascendant as well as the 4th house, can help you grow in real estate sector, engineering, technology, energy sector. And Mars, because it is in own house, can also make you work for your public image. But because there is Sun doing a Mars combustion in the 10th house, if you try to think that you are supreme or you are the best, someone or some other higher authority will try to stop you. So it is best that you utilize this energy and time and focus on the divine powers, and always think that there is an upper hand on top of you who is someone bigger, someone who is elder, and admire them. It's a great time to follow your role models and try to have an idealistic approach. But if you're too confident on your abilities, if you're too confident on your image, then something negative will happen to counter this. Because remember, Mars, does not matter how powerful it becomes, cannot overpower the Surya, the sun. Chanting Aditya Hridaya Stotra, practicing Surya Namaskar every day will be really, really helpful. On the other hand, this can also create tension between brother, siblings, and your father, and the health of your father can be a concern in certain cases. So be mindful of these things. Also, your 8th house will experience a Venus and Ketu, which is actually 11th from this Mars. So maybe you will feel lonely and you will feel that you are a one-man army and then you have to do all by yourself. And that is what you should accept. That sometimes you have to take the responsibility in your own hand and you have to do things without any help. That is what will create a difference between you and others. And anger, lust for power should be completely ignored, and abuse of power will cause a big downfall. Do not forget, Saturn is on your ascendant. Pisces. In case of Pisces, Mars will move in your 9th house. A 9th house movement of Mars can help you understand your dharma. It can boost your luck and will also give you confidence. Also, there will be guidance coming from someone who is elderly, someone who is a learned person, or maybe your boss or supervisor, which you should adhere to. Because initially Sun is making Mars go combust. And what is Sun? Your 6th house. Maybe your duties, your responsibilities are too strong and the pull of them is too strong that first you need to address them and fulfill them before you go and do something for yourself. Here what you should do is that instead of focusing on your own comfort zone, you should focus on building a platform for yourself. Expenses can be on the rise, especially medical expense. People going for medical travel will see positive things going their way. Mars being in the 9th house can help you recover from ailments and will also give you necessary energy to fight any mental challenges that you are facing or mental blocks that you are facing. Mars direct aspect to the 3rd house will resolve conflicts with your brothers. But again, you need to be humble, and when Mars is in the 9th house, you need to accept the authority of a higher power before you can show your power or authority. Remember, every teacher was once a student. You have to remember that. So Mars as a planet will be very active, very powerful, but there is one small problem. Mars, when it is in the 9th house, will aspect your 4th house by the 8th aspect. And because Mars is aspecting the 4th house by the 8th aspect, which is basically the sign of Gemini, it can make you restless. It can make you run. You would want to travel for enjoyment and for pleasure, and you would want some change or displacement that will be giving you a lot of pleasure and comfort in life. All is fine if you are if you're knowing what you're doing. But if you're reckless, then you can lose up a huge amount of money, especially if you're investing in speculative business, stock market. Risky investments must be avoided, and take care of your health, especially of your lower part of the body, especially if you're an athlete or if you are playing or going to the gym. Yoga is a must here.